Welcome back, RWorld. Thank you for joining us again for episode 3 of RWorldTalk. Today we have a good friend of Broward Palm Beaches and St. Lucie Realtors, Mr. Adam Kayce from the Home Design and Remodeling Show. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. And I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, but I appreciate you having me in.
Excited to have a good time. The home show obviously is always a popular event in South Florida. So what makes the home show so special?
So, it's really where the design industry and home ownership and just B2B and B2C, everything really comes together, where people are coming to shop, get inspired, really discover what's new, what's good for their homes, meet the experts most of all. And that's really what makes the home show special because, it's not just like, a magazine or online where you can see a lot of great things out there, but getting the information and really getting educated and knowing who's going to be in your home is what's great about it.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go there last week. I had a chance to speak on stage, give some market updates and things like that. Thanks for having us. You guys really put on an incredible show. I mean, I walked around and saw some of the vendors that you had, and basically I wanted to walk out of there with everything that I could possibly lay my eyes on. So you're doing a really good job. So congratulations on that success.
I appreciate it.
You work with some high-profile real estate personalities with the home show, whether it be million-dollar listing celebrities, HGTV stars, any crazy stories or anything you could share while working with those people?
There are definitely some stories that I might save for another time, but there are some that are better. But no, I mean, for the most part, they've all been great because they know that the people that are coming to the show and the purpose of being a part of our event is really, connecting with their fans. It's their fan base, the people that, keep them on television, and that's what, that's why we have them. And it allows people to get that, firsthand experience to be able to, get their questions answered and be able to take a picture with them. And, that's what brings their show to life as well. But, I've had some, stories in the past, some showing up late, some calling a few days before, all of a sudden having a problem but no, I mean, it's great working with them because, people, when they're looking for real estate or looking for design, ultimately a lot of people, if they're not on Instagram or Pinterest, they're watching these shows religiously.
Right. Yeah. I mean, gosh, HGTV, I know from my customers, you talk to so many people and they're, what do you mean the price is like that? It's like, well, I don't know what episode of, some HGTV show you were watching, but those prices were about 10 years ago. So
yeah. And also like even forgetting about that, I mean, the reality is most of these shows are shot in other parts of the country. Right. I mean, being able to do a full home gut and remodel for $150,000 is not quite reality. I mean, you might get a kitchen and a bathroom here. But
those remodeling costs were not the same during the pandemic.
Not so much if you could get product.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So back to the home show, what types of vendors do you guys have at the home show? What can somebody expect to see?
So at the show, they're going to be able to find everything from indoors to out, from custom kitchen and bath remodeling to surfaces to windows and doors to solar. I mean, solar in particular is one of those most talked about topics and how to save money and, really be more efficient in your home. And and there's a lot of questions there because sometimes it, sounds too good to be true. But then there's art, there's decor, there's pavers, there's patio, there's furniture. I mean, literally interior designers, literally every aspect of the home. Whether somebody's looking because they're thinking about remodeling their kitchen, they're going to find all the kitchen vendors, all the materials that go into those projects, but also they're going to discover the things that might be a project that's 1 or 2 or 3 down the line, so they can start thinking about it and really get those questions answered before they just become a lead.
Like an onyx countertop that I saw.
Yeah,
those things blew my mind. It was like a piece of art.
And you said it. I mean, they truly are art, and just the materials and talking about surfaces, the large format porcelains being used or glass slabs that are illuminated and backlit. There's so many different applications that the average homeowner, you might see it online and see beautiful pictures, but where do you get it? Right. It all comes together at the home show. So that's why
they come to the home show to find out where to get it.
Exactly.
And designers, you guys have designers that are there as well.
Yeah.
I saw a really beautiful setup. It was obviously something that I could definitely not afford, but it was gorgeous.
So I have to ask, which one was your favorite?
I think it was Perla Lici did a really good job.
She's spectacular. Yeah. I mean, she's a celebrity in her own right. I mean, but yeah, so talking about Perla's vignette in particular, I mean, she had that, it's actually what she used was a stretch. It's a stretch product where they backlight
for that back wall.
It's incredible.
I didn't know that.
But each of the designers, if you notice, they all have their own design style.
Sure.
And what's fun about these, we call it our designer show house. What's great about it is this is where the whole show comes together, because the designers, they're designing for themselves. They're not going into a home where they have to stay within the parameters that the homeowner wants them to stay within,
right,
where they can think outside the box and really differentiate and separate who they are from other designers and really have fun with it.
Right. Nice. So is there any type of vendor or service that is emerging right now that consumers just absolutely cannot get enough of?
Yeah, and you can probably attest to this. When people are buying homes, remodeling homes, especially coming out of COVID, people have never valued their home as much as they do now.
I know I do.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we spent a lot of time there.
Yep.
But people are looking for more livable square footage. And where do you get that? It's all outdoors. So from artificial turf to outdoor kitchens, barbecues, pools, patio furniture, lighting, all of this it's one of those trends that it's always been popular, but it really, became much more important to homeowners in general, because, when you have that backyard that you've been thinking about remodeling, but you're still going on vacations and going out to dinner and things like that, it's easy to put it on the back burner. But where today, people want that, and they want maintenance free, and they just want to be able to enjoy their homes.
I've seen down here in South Florida, obviously, we have the ability to spend a lot more of our time outside. We're not stuck up north in the cold. But one thing that I noticed at the home show was the grills were absolutely incredible. I mean, that is a whole outdoor living area. I mean, there was a roof on top. You had the kitchen and the wine fridge and the ice maker and like anything that you could possibly imagine to entertain outdoors. I mean, it was literally like just taking your kitchen from inside the house and dropping it outside.
Absolutely. And what's amazing, so we all know, like, if we're entertaining at home, everybody kind of, comes together around the kitchen island.
Right.
Now they can do the same thing outside.
Exactly.
And what's nice is, like, whoever's home it is, like the entertainer, they can have everyone outside versus having to go cook on their small grill, bring it inside, and everywhere they can be a part of the party. But you just mentioned pergolas. These pergolas are absolutely amazing. If you're looking for the best outdoor space, I mean, having these pergolas that actually, they're louvers. Yeah, they're louvers. So whether it's raining, whether it's, if you're up north, if it's snowing, but, it doesn't matter if it's too hot. This is a great way to be able to, you either make the area cooler or let the sun in or block the rain. And what's fantastic about it is they also come automated, where if it has sensors.
That was going to be my follow-up question.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's sensors built into these where if it starts raining, it will automatically close. These outdoor kitchens are spectacular, and you can add whether it's synthetic or real ivy or different types of plants. I mean, it's just a great living opportunity.
So you mentioned automation. Have you seen basically an upward trend? Because I know it was something that was a selling point a few years back, because it was fresh and new, and everybody, who could afford it wanted a piece of it. But is home automation something that you're seeing people are looking for at the home shows?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where it's so accessible for everybody now. I mean, whether you're looking at introductory type of models, whether we're talking Alexa, or more sophisticated opportunities where we're talking about something like Savant or Crestron, where you can literally control your entire living in every facet. Doesn't matter if it's when you arrive to your home and you want the lights to be able to turn on as you pull into your home, or
and we can go right down to the temperature of the light.
The temperature, everything. Yeah, I mean, if you're if you want to set the mood, and so you can have lights turn down, window shades go down, or TV turn on, fireplace turn on. I mean, there's all these different things that you can do. Or if you want that party scene, like lights can change colors. They can change the beat of the music. But what's amazing about home automation and integration is not just the technology, it's also the fact that these companies do such a great job of concealing it because no one really wants to look at a big speaker or a big subwoofer. They're able to hide.
Now they can put them behind the wall and paint right over it, and you never even know that anything is behind the wall.
Absolutely. And
it's wild.
It's amazing. And I'm sure you see in a lot of the homes that you represent and list and sell and bring clients into, people are amazed by it. And
they really are.
And it's a lifestyle. You get to really create the lifestyle that you want to achieve.
Right. Yeah. I've heard now that they've got some systems where the temperature of the light will change throughout the night. So that way it's basically putting you to sleep, like getting you ready for bed, that the lights get dim, but not just dim. It's like an actual color change in the temperature of the light. I thought that was really, really incredible where things are going.
No, it's absolutely amazing. And a lot of times they like to replicate the type of light that is outside, like if it's, brighter during the day or if it's at night, to be able to, get that perfect sunrise or that perfect sunset. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, our association has recently made a massive push to consumers. We launched our Only a Realtor commercials recently. Third installment's going to be coming out. So just a quick question for you. Have you seen them? And if you have, what do you think about them?
I have. And I think it's really smart because even coming back to the home show and what everybody wants in every facet of life is information.
Right.
And a lot of times I look at every industry, whether I'm talking about realtors or designers, people need to know why. Why use a realtor and what you're going to achieve, how you're going to save, not just time, but, money, energy, everything that goes into it, because we all know anything that has to do with the home is overwhelming. It's intimidating. Where do you start? But, there's a reason why experts exist. Don't try to, do a little bit of everything, really perfect it. Right. And that's what I love about your campaigns. And you guys are really educating people on the why.
Commercials are working.
I see it. No, keep doing it. And even for us, we want to be able to share that because, we are firsthand interacting and engaging with the marketplace for, a homeowner today is looking to sell their home tomorrow and go into a new home. So it's it's a perfect synergy. And that's why we love our partnership with you guys.
We love having you on the team. I mean, obviously it takes a village to get through making sure that, somebody's going to go from one lifestyle that they're living to something different, and having people like you on our team is an integral part of what we do to make sure that they've got all the resources that they need. Right. And these are huge decisions that they're making. So it's great to have you guys on board. And I think you're really going to like the third commercial that comes out. It's given me this Publix holiday commercial vibe, and I think people are actually going to cry when they watch it. So that's what we're going for. We'll see what happens.
Going for an emotion.
Yeah, right. We're pulling out the heartstrings on the next one.
Nice.
Any advice for realtors on what consumers are looking for? What do we need to know?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, and I ask the industry this all the time, and different companies that I'm working with, and there are those factors that and there's most people that are looking to purchase a home, most are too intimidated to get into having to be ambitious and get into the full home remodel, full gut. People want to be able to personalize their space. But, it all comes down to kitchens, having, the somewhat of a trending type of kitchen. Today, we're seeing a lot of those natural woods, like the white oaks and all these walnuts and things like that, because, at the end of the day, those are things that will never go out of style.
Right.
So a lot of the trends that we see in the design world is, they want things that are trending and obviously modern and not necessarily modern in the sense of the style home, but more so just up to date, whether we're talking about a traditional style home, Spanish, Mediterranean style, modern, contemporary style home. But materials is what really stands out. And, that's that beautiful quartz countertop. And also we're seeing more and more of the natural stones coming back, where forever people started to get a little afraid of them because of the maintenance. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that speaks luxury more than a beautiful marble or an onyx or,
Absolutely.
And being able to integrate that into it. But, maintenance free, that's what people want, talking about outdoors. And, we covered the automation side of things, the smarter the home, I would assume the easier the sell, because that's ultimately what they're looking for. If you walk into a home and you can hit a button, all your shades go up. That's something that the average person
and Sade starts playing.
Yeah, exactly right. But they don't see that day to day. And if you have that talking point, that feature, that's something that really makes that home different and special, they start seeing themselves living in the space.
Absolutely. I had one time a high gloss royal blue like lacquered kitchen.
Right.
The whole kitchen was like that. And my buyer walked in, fell in love with it. And I said, I don't know if like, are you going to live here the rest of your life? Because you might be redoing that kitchen in order to sell it again. Because you're like the one guy that is like in love with this blue high gloss lacquered kitchen. And sure enough, we found somebody else for it when he was done. It was like 2 days and somebody just fell in love with this kitchen. But for me, I would prefer something that's timeless and a little bit more traditional than high gloss blue lacquered kitchen.
And what we all learned is the reality is there's something for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it.
So what motivates Adam? How do you get energized these days?
Well, number one is my family. Like, there's nothing more important. I do it for them. Like, that's what keeps pushing me, my support system and everything.
Sure.
But I really get most excited about, connecting people. I love connecting people. I love business development. The second I'm introduced to somebody, or if I come across a business, like, I find what they're most excited about, and I'm able to get as excited or even more excited than some of these businesses. And I just start thinking about how I can truly benefit this company, not just as far as being in our show, because that's ultimately what our goal is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if I'm able to add value and really be an asset to all these businesses and all these professionals, that's what drives me that's what gets me, that's what really fuels my fire.
That's what it's like to be a realtor.
Yeah, exactly.
We get excited with our customers about the house that they're about to purchase. And as you're walking them through and like see their family smiling and everybody's just so excited about the transition, that's really what drives me to get up and do what I do each day. It's funny that you could have that same passion in different aspects of the business.
100%. And like, I'm a big believer in the fact that people do business with people. That will never go away. And if you're passionate about working with people, helping other people, help directing them, connecting them, like, it's not about, like, obviously we're all in business to be profitable and be successful and things like that. But I'm a believer where that will always come if you do what you're passionate about. And if you're able to give more to whoever you're working with, it will always come back in ways that you can never expect.
Right.
So
love what you do and you never work a day in your life.
100%.
Yeah,
it's true. It really is. It really is.
When you're having a big event like the home show, what does it take to get you amped up? You got any like special rituals you do?
So my staff will think I'm absolutely crazy, and because the reality is I'm always amped up. I'm always excited every day. I come in with a new project, every
time I see you, I feel that. Just
right.
so you know. Yeah.
Well, that's what I love. And like, you probably see these video tours that I do going through the show, and I just love talking about what everyone else does. But going into a show, so I'm a big sports guy. I played football and baseball through college, and like, it's like my game day. All of the preparation, all of the practice, everything that you go through day to day, and it all is coming together all at once. You have thousands or hundreds of exhibitors, thousands of attendees that are coming to the show, and they're all here to see what you put together without being the one that anyone's there to see.
Right.
Everyone's here to see everyone that I'm putting in the show and putting together. But at the end of the day, the vision, and like, when I'm placing companies in the show, I'm walking through the show through my mind to see what the attendees' experience will be when they attend. And that's what's most exciting, really seeing smiles on people's faces. I'm always walking around the show asking, are you enjoying the show? Do you are you seeing what you're looking for? Because I always want to get that feedback, and that's what drives me to the next.
Okay, awesome. What about any special new projects? You got anything coming up that we need to know about?
Always. There's always new projects. Are you going to
leak one here?
So the media and content division inside of our business has really taken off in the sense of it's really educating the market, showing the projects that professionals are on every single day. So we're going in and out of projects every single day. Okay. Following designers, going into showrooms, because we want the market to know what's available to them. Because as we mentioned, you look at HGTV or Bravo, we see what's out there, but a lot of it doesn't really relate to South Florida. So that's the perspective that we're really looking to drive. And it all comes down to educating. We just want to make sure that homeowners and professionals have the best knowledge and the best information out there before they make a decision. Because we all know, once you meet a kitchen company or a window company, they're going to guide you to what they want to sell you as a whole. But if you know the questions to ask, or even know how to hire a professional, or what questions they should know to ask when looking to find that right contractor, then we've done our job.
Yeah, when I did the home show last weekend, and we had Sharon Peoples, who gave them everything that they needed to know about the mortgage process and basically what to look out for. We had Noreen Langleben, who got up there and talked about insurance and exactly what to look out for, what kind of pitfalls, pain points.
Can't forget about yourself.
Talk about the roof. Well, I was just there getting market stats, right. Boring old me. But yeah, it was really nice to get up there and educate people. I mean, that's my biggest passion, whether it be educating my agents, educating the consumer, or even just my friends. I mean, that's like my favorite thing when I hear one of my friends talking something real estate, and my ears perk up. Not because I want to sell them something. My ears perk up because I'm like, what kind of information is going to come out of your mouth that is not really what's happening in today's market? Right. So it's always nice to be able to educate somebody and tell them something telling them something they didn't know is always like that aha moment for people. So.
And that, just watching the seminars and, the discussions that you had, the questions that you were getting was probably, it was most exciting to see.
It was really exciting to see when we opened it up at the end and had people flood the stage wanting to ask all these questions. It was like, oh, this is really cool. We did our job today.
And question for you, I mean, when you get these questions, there's probably questions that you get, you're like, you know what, that's a great perspective, because every story has its own lane in the sense of like how it relates to that individual. So I'm sure you guys even get surprised sometimes in what perspective.
We get surprised with some questions that really turn your head back, and you have to go, wow, okay, ma'am, wait a minute. Let me just tell you how it is, because you're totally wrong, and you could have owned a house 5 years ago.
Right.
When prices were a lot lower. But it's certainly always a good time for people to get into the real estate market, especially here in South Florida, because I think we had 900 people a day moving down here before the pandemic. Now we're at 1,053 people per day, and half of them are coming to South Florida. So I think your home show is about to get busier.
Yeah, I like that. I like the sounds of that. Actually, I need to get some more of those stats. We'll be putting those out there, because that's how people discover new businesses.
Yep. Okay, so let's get off of business for a second. And if money were no object, what would Adam be doing to spend his time?
Oh, well, I don't know. I like I mentioned before, family is everything to me. So I'm coaching my kids, my son's t-ball team. I mean, that's all fun to me. Like I love coaching, but money is no object. I'd be a coach, I mean, that's what I love. I love teaching. I love, watching progress for, it doesn't matter what age, somebody might be, but, I love the interaction. I love sports. I mean, or I would just be doing nothing and just spend time with my family. Just leave it at that.
That's a great answer. I hope the family knows how lucky they are.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing.
Okay, well, I know you've got to get going and get back to work so that you can plan something great for the future. But before we let you go, one last question. If there was I'd like to hear your favorite, either a podcast, a book, or a quote that has just changed something in your life for the better.
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. One of the books that I read when I first started getting into business is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay. It's probably one of the best business books, and it's a short read. It's nothing elaborate, but it's something that every single time I pick up this book, where if I feel like, I've taken a step back or I need a new perspective, every time I've read this book, I've had a new perspective, and it's helped me get beyond any moment that I'm in. So as far as a book, I would recommend anybody to read Think and Grow Rich, because it really helps you really take apart the sales process and learn how to navigate those waters the best possible for every scenario and situation.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
Absolutely.
Adam, thank you, sir. And thank you, RWorld, for joining us again for episode 3 of RWorldTalk. We will see you next time.